Scrapbooking buddies, Debbie Martin here. We're back for the next edition of the Savvy Scrapbookers, and today we're going to be using the painted garden line. We're going to be using this and the stickers, and you're going to need one piece of like scrap white paper. Okay, so if you're working alongside of me, you're going to need to get out the sun's paper, this beautiful paper with the bees and the hummingbirds and the flowers, this kind of peachy, orangey flower one, and the green wood grain. Okay, these two are going to be our bases, so we're going to set those aside. And the first one we're going to start with is the yellow. So you're going to need your 12-inch trimmer, and we are going to start with, we need two 2 by 12-inch pieces. Now we're only going to be using this side today, so you don't need to worry about the direction of the paper on the other side. So put it in at the 2-inch line. Make sure it's nice and straight, and we're going to do a 2-inch cut and a 2-inch cut. So make sure when you're done watching this video that you hop over to Donna Gus, the Lazy Scrapbooker, and Nicole Scrapbooks, and see the other 2 pages, because you're going to be able to take this entire paperback and turn it into 6 pages. Okay, so your next cut you're going to put in at the 4-inch line. Okay, we're going to be making 4x6 mats. I love making 4x6 mats because you can take almost any picture and cut it down just a smidge and have it on that mat perfectly. So one more of the 4x6 mats. Okay. So we've got that done. Now we're going to be using our trimmer, but we're also going to be using the decorative trimmer. We're going to kind of be alternating it back and forth between the two. So the next sheet of paper you need is this beautiful flower one. Now we're going to be doing cuts from this direction all the way over. You're going to see why this makes sense later, so just hang with me, okay? And so you're going to want to make sure that your hummingbirds are kind of faced this direction, okay? So our first cut, now this is you're going to want to stay with me. If you're not with me, you pause it and get with me before you move on to the next step. So the first one, when we put it in, we're going to put it in at the 4.5-inch line. Now how you know that is here at the top. There's a 1, there's a 2, there's a 3, there's a 4, and then go in this direction, there's another 1. So we're putting it at the 4.5-inch line. Now in the decorative trimmer, we have the large swell and the small swell. We're going to be using the small swell today. And just make sure your paper is nice and straight, and that's at the 4.5-inch line. Now when you go to use this, kind of go up about 1 inch and then bring it down. Sometimes with the designer print paper, it's thinner and it'll kind of rip with the thin blade. Okay, so we're going to bring this over here. That's going to be that side. So we're going to keep this paper just like this. We're going to bring our regular trimmer in, and this time we're going to put it in at the 1.5-inch line. So the 1.5-inch line is right there. Just the tops of those swells are just going to touch that. And you're going to get a nice straight cut. Okay. And we're going to bring this back over, and we're going to put it in the decorative trimmer. Now this time, we're not moving our paper. This time we're going to open it up, and we're going to put our paper at the 3-inch line. So you kind of can't see it, but you can when it's open. So make sure that it's nice and straight at the 3-inch line. And you're going to see where you want to do this and do it exactly like this in just a minute. Okay, so I bring that over here. Now we're going to bring our straight trimmer back in here. Now this time, this is the first time we're going to flip the paper, and we're going to have it just touch the 3-inch line here. Okay, just the tops of the 3 swells at the 3-inch line. And then we're going to bring that back over here. So now we're left with just a smidge over 4x4. Okay, so depending on how accurate you cut, you might just have to take, that's about 1/8 of an inch off. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and flip this sideways, and you're going to cut yourself 3 4x4 mats. Okay. Now we're only going to use 2 of these, but we've got a backup just in case we mess up, and it's always good to have a backup, okay? So now we're going to take these. We're going to take the largest circle from the cutting system, okay? And we are actually going to be using this side of the paper. So if you want to flip it over, and you're trying to get it kind of in the center. If it's not exactly, you're not going to see it, but I'm trying to get it as close as possible. Now with this one, we're going to be using the green blade. Okay, in a minute we're going to mat it with some white, but right now we're using the inside of the larger circle with the green blade, and you just want to make sure both feet are in the groove and cut that. We're going to set that aside. We're going to do that one more time. Okay, trying to get it in the center, and you'll see why in just a minute, but it's not super important if it's off, but you'll see. Okay, so one more time. Okay, set that one here and that one here, and then grab yourself some white cardstock, just a scrap, and we're going to make 2 mats for this. So we're using the same circle, but this time we're going to go with the red blade. Okay, there's one, and red blade again, and one more. Okay, now we're done with our little scrap of paper. And one more thing we're going to need to do, because that way we'll have everything cut and ready to put together, is we are going to take our trimmer. We're going to take these 2 little leftover pieces, and we're going to cut them on the diagonal. So you can put them on this little 45-degree line. You can, I'm going to line it up on line 1, but to see if it's correct, you can pull your little sight guides out. And we're going to pull one from this side and just see that it's going through the center, and it is, so perfect. So now we've cut that in half. We're going to do that one more time. Put it on your 45-degree line. Line it up. Use your little sight lines to see if you're straight. And cut that. Okay, now we're done with the trimmer. Now we are ready to start putting everything together. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our base papers. I hope you're liking the collaboration. Make sure you put in the comments what you think of all of our collaborations and getting all the pages done. I think it's really fun to take a paper pack. I pretty much do that with my paper back to pretty pages. I love taking a paper pack and turning it into 6 or 8 pages. Okay. And I don't know if there's a direction on that. You see if you find a direction. If you can, you go with it. So now we're going to bring in our 2 by 12-inch strips, and they're going to go here at the top. We are going to pop the birds on there in just a second. So once you get it the way you want it, go ahead and grab your tape and go ahead and put that down. And we just want to get that right at the top of our paper, like that, and do the other one too. I don't know how you feel about the decorative trimmer. It's one of those items I feel like we used a lot when it first came out, and then we kind of stopped using it. So that's why I thought it would be fun to kind of pull it back out and use it again. Okay. So now we've got these pieces that we cut, and we cut in that specific order. And the reason we did, there's so many fun things, like you could do a title here, but we're going to put them together, and you're going to see why we cut them in this order. Because you're going to see that when we put our pages together, how the design matches up perfectly. Isn't that fun? Yeah. So that's the reason that we cut in that order and the way that we did that, okay? So let's go ahead and pull them apart, and let's go ahead and adhere those down. The Painted Harvest line is Creative Memories spring line that just came out. It's so pretty. If you haven't played with it, there's the tone-on-tone paper, there's stickers, there was embellishments that came and went so fast. But I think they're coming back. But today we're using the stickers. And the stickers has so many on it that we were able to use it, and you're still going to end up with a few leftover stickers when you're done. So we are going to go ahead and stick that down and do our last side. And line that up nice and straight. Once again, if I'm going a little bit too fast for you, just pause it, catch up, and then we'll start it right back up again. Okay, so now we're going to be using, because remember, you're not going to want to change your mind on stickers. Normally I'd say, hey, you can use whatever stickers you want. But if you're going to do all 3 pages of all 3 of us, you're going to want to use the stickers that we're both all using. So we're using these beautiful birds, okay? And I kind of brought it in here at the, like the 1-inch line. The 1-inch line is also centered between this 2-inch strip that we just cut. So kind of put that down. You could put that down with foam squares if you wanted, the little tiny foam squares. That would be fun. Another option for you. It would take you a little bit of time, but it would look really cool when you're done. And so if you bring this over here too, because they are lining up and because it's going to look totally cool like that, we want to make sure that it's nice and straight and lined up with that. How cool does that look? Love it. Okay, so we've got our birds down, and now we're ready to put our little sticker clusters together in our mats. So what I did with the mats is I put 2 on this side and I put 2 here. But I kind of want them to pop a little bit, which is the reason that I played with these, okay? Sometimes I like to throw my scraps away. Sometimes I like to keep them. So these, I'm going to put a little adhesive. I'm going to show you what I did with them. Oops, out of tape. Time to change. Never fails when I'm doing a video. I always run out of tape. Good thing our tape runners are so easy to refill. Okay, so we're going to line this back up because I'm going to want these straight, and I'm going to probably want them like the same amount of distance from here to here, just so that it looks kind of neat, and then kind of here to here. Okay, so I like to lay them out first like that. I'm kind of looking at this 9.5-inch line right there, and then we're going to tuck these like underneath the corners when we're done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive like right here. So I'm going to flip it over, not put it right here right now. Flip it back over like this. Make sure I'm kind of lining it up straight. Then I'm going to put adhesive on the printed side here with the large flowers and pull that up and kind of give it just a little bit of something that looks great like that. Make sure it's straight. That's why I love using a repo when you're doing stuff like this, because you can quickly pull it back up. And now once I've got it where I want it, I want to make sure I come back in here and adhere this. Now I'm going to do the same thing up here. So let me go ahead. I'm not going to put adhesive right here. Bring it back up. Flip it over, and then we're going to put the adhesive on the printed side again. Come back in under here like this. And now I'm going to want to kind of make it match. So if there's like 1/4 of an inch showing up there, I want 1/4 of an inch there. See, that just gives it a little pop. And those were our scraps we were going to throw away anyway. So let's do the same thing on this side. Let's bring it over here. So this time I can either put them here and here or here and here. I kind of think I want to put them here and here maybe. Okay, so let's line them up. And because I'm going to put it here, I'm not going to put adhesive right there right now. Make sure I've like got it nice and straight. Line it up like that. Bring my corner in, put my adhesive on this, and I'm going to ask you right now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that little subscribe button, hit that little bell. That way when we're posting new videos, I like to do videos at least once a week of new products and like to show you little techniques and fun quick things that you can do with your pages. Okay, that looks a little crooked to me, so I'm going to pick it up because that would just bug me. And because we used repo, that's nice and easy. And there we go. Much better. Okay, now we're going to put it up here in the corner. And then we're going to be ready to do our sticker clusters. And let's go ahead and... Ooh, did I put the tape on the wrong side? Oh, I did. So this is a really good thing to show you right now. If you happen to put it on there, let me just move this page so it doesn't get on here. it's little clear adhesive. So you're able to rub it right off, which I can't even tell you how many times it's come in handy for me. So you don't have to worry about making a mistake with it, because now I can come right back on here and put it on the correct side. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick this down. This is the corner I'm not going to stick. So I'm going to put my finger there so I don't put adhesive on that side. Come back in here, bring that here, and then bring our corner back in. And there we go. So fun. We've got a little hummingbird that goes from one side to the other. And now we're going to put our sticker clusters together. So we had all these circles that we cut. So we're going to go ahead and put adhesive on the printed side. Bring that in here. Perfect. Put your adhesive on this. And perfect. Okay, so now we're going to kind of do our visual triangle. Put one here, and then we're going to have a little cluster of flowers here. So let's go ahead and decide. I think I kind of want it centered there. So once you know where you want it, go ahead and put your adhesive on it and stick it down just like that. I'm going to do the same thing one up here, because our titles are going to run off of this just a little bit. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to grab your stickers, and we've kind of got a bird theme going on here. So what I've got, we'll find our nest. Okay, and I brought it in here so a little bit of it jumps out of the circle and the rest is in the circle. And then we found the little bird's nest here. Now I love using foam squares, but that's totally up to you whether you like them or not. But if you do, this is a perfect thing to use them on. So I'm going to put just a couple of foam squares here on the nest. Okay. Then we're going to tuck our nest right in here, like that. And then we're going to bring our two hummingbirds. We've got two hummingbirds. So this one, I feel like a hummingbird needs to be flying. So I did use foam squares on that. But once again, totally up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and put a couple foam squares on this. It's a good use of the little ones too, because sometimes I end up with a lot of little ones left. So it's really good use of those. So I'm going to bring that in. And we're going to bring that in like it's coming into the nest. And one more little hummingbird. And he's going to be flying into the nest too. And just like that. Perfect. Okay, so down here, we're going to do a little sticker cluster right here. So I want you to look for, there's a little cluster of 3 flowers. Okay, so we're going to bring that in right here. Then there is this little, it's like a bigger flower. And I don't know where I like that. I don't know, maybe like that. And then I'll cut that off. Okay, and then grab a couple, at least 1 or 2 ladybugs, and let's put a little couple ladybugs in there. Just so we've got a little bit of red, so that's kind of pulling just a little bit of red in for us. And maybe have him sit down there. And then our last is this little sticker cluster up here. And we're going to use the entire big bird's nest. And yes, I'm going to use foam squares on it because I have to. But you don't have to. I love the way it looks. I just do. And then we're going to use a couple little foam squares on the bottom part to keep it all up. Okay. We are almost done. We have one more little title to do. I hope you've enjoyed doing this with us today. Make sure you comment below and tell me what you think. Tell me what you're going to use this for. I mean, is it going to be like pictures of your home? I kind of feel like every so often we need to take pictures of our home because our home changes through the years. And our nest would be perfect for that. And our last little thing we're going to put on here is a little birdie told me so. We're going to bring that in right here and tie that sticker cluster in right there and put that right there. So let me bring it together so you can see it. Look how cute that is. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hop over to Donna and Nicole's page and watch their videos and make their pages. And happy scrapbooking!